Hello, and welcome to Founder Freedom from Hustler to CEO, the podcast built for e commerce entrepreneurs and small business owners who are ready to work less, earn more, and scale smarter. I'm your host, Stephen Palmer, and today we're talking about how to scale a product based business, stay lean, and serve customers with style and heart. Today's guest is Kelly Dall Antonia, founder of Walls by Me, a standout brand turning walls into statements. Let's jump in with Kelly. Welcome, Kelly.
Hello, thank you for having me this morning.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being
Yeah,
here.
glad to be
So,
here.
why don't you tell us a little bit about the Walls by Me value proposition for our listeners today?
We are a wall covering pre-to-order manufacturer, right? And also installation services. And we are locally owned. We started our business actually in our half of garage, then full garage. Now we have moved for a almost 4,000 square feet warehouse and where we have our factory locally owned again. And since 2015, we have been, Walls by Me was born online actually. And then we moved to integrated with the showroom and physically
Mhm.
having people over as well.
Right.
So that's who we are.
Nice. What about your business is like, what do you bring to the world? What's special about Walls by Me?
So we are I think the biggest value on our brand and business is our vertical solution. So we do anything from the beginning of the design, customization of the wallpaper until the production, as well as all the way to installation. So offering this end-to-end solution, it's quite unique in our business. There's not many places that do that, especially locally, as well as having the the private label option for wallpaper.
Oh, for printing. Nice.
Yes.
Super. That's awesome. Just a little side thing. I have purchased custom wallpaper in my past. So I think it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I think it's great because there's not a lot of companies doing it anymore.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you do have the big one. I'm not sure how customization plays out with Spoonflower. That's one of the big ones out there that
Mm.
does quite a bit. But we are quite unique, really. People love the fact that they can come in with a paint swatch. Can you match this? Can you do it darker? Can you do it lighter? And they come as a family, and so the kid says, "Oh, hey, mom, can we do this in this color and the other?" So it's Walls by Me comes like Walls by You actually should be because
Right.
it's by them. They create the design, and all of a sudden they have a wallpaper that's only theirs. It becomes later on sometimes becomes a bestseller. Other customers come and say, "Hey, how cool is this design?"
Right.
And so it's a very interesting process, fun to see, very exciting. People are really proud of seeing something that they help created. It's kind of a, you
Sure.
know, yeah,
It's cool that it's interactive with the family.
absolutely. As well as, again, the private labeling. Some designers and some customers do want to start their own brand and they don't have the resource, the knowledge, the investment of. So when
Right.
you have a partner that kind of takes you by the hand and say, "Hey, this, I'll handle all the everything behind the scenes, you
Mm.
just worry about your brand," then that's the way they want to go.
That's awesome. That's a
Mhm.
lot of values you're bringing. So for both the end customer and for the designers. So what inspired you to create Walls by Me?
We came from the restaurant industry, right? We are born entrepreneurs. We love it. We have been, my entire family, my husband's family. We grew up on it. So, but when we started a family, we did not want that thing that restaurants, when you were working the most, like weekends and holidays or work days. We wanted to change a little bit that
Yeah.
dynamics of it. So, from a personal point of view, that's kind of what brought us to. And also, as business wise, we didn't want to just be another reseller. We did not want to deal with imports, with the
Right.
cost involved in the cash flow of having high inventory. And so made to order was an option we wanted to go. And after a long research, I did not like very much what they had to offer as far as sometimes sustainability or type of inks or type of technology used. We wanted to control from beginning to end the speed of the process,
Mhm.
leading times, and customer service. So kind of that's what we started. Said if we create something from beginning all the way to the end, we kind of have control of that.
That's nice. So you buying your time back was part of the inspiration. That's
Yes,
pretty
as
cool. Yeah.
yes,
Because
yes.
the restaurant
And
business
and
is
wallpaper,
grueling.
we had our son just a few years before, and we wallpapered the entire room, and we're like, wow, wallpaper does make a statement. It does change a room quite a bit. So that's a
Hmm.
product that would be really cool to work with. And then there's just so many ways you can go. I mean, I could talk to you forever about, especially specific designs and customer creations. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, awesome.
It's exciting.
So as far as when you were doing your market research, so what kind of challenges or gaps did you see in the marketplace that kept you moving on?
So again, we didn't want to just be another reseller. I saw a lot of people reselling wallpaper or getting wallpaper from China or even Europe, or I mean elsewhere, and then it would take a long time, 4 to 6 weeks. I think the world is moving quite fast, and
Yeah.
so everything that's more than 2 business day, you are kind of, I mean, there is a customer for everything, but lead time is a huge thing. And I said the only way I can control that or make it, faster is if we do it in-house.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
one. So it wasn't really broken or inefficient. It was just
Gaps.
not what we would like to offer the customers. And once again, obviously quality. I could choose the material, I could do the research, offer the better that's also good for the environment, good for the people, good for who's consuming, who is producing, and customer service. Customer service for me is like top number one. You need to be top notch. You really
Yep,
need
you
to
do.
go way and beyond. And so again, that's kind of why we thought there was room for it.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, you just kind of covered the whole section here about identifying the problems, and you described what things were broken about the inefficiencies of importing and all
Well,
that.
there's great brands, don't get me wrong, high
Yeah.
quality, great brands. But aside from taking a long time and sometimes lacking a little bit of customer service, there's also no room for customization. So you love it, it's not quite the color. Or for instance, I had a customer that said, "Oh, I love the wallpaper, but can we change the boots for a hat because it's a boy?" Yeah, and then we change a simple, quick, and so happy she is. Something that it would not be possible if you're just reselling it. See what I'm saying?
Right,
That's just one tiny example, but there's many.
right.
When you produce, that's what allows you to do.
So that's one of the key differences is that your company solves the problem of allowing for custom ordering in wallpaper and custom designing, where if somebody is shopping retail, they don't have those types of options.
Yes, absolutely.
So when a new customer is like looking at your business from the outside in, trying to, proverbial kicking the tire, what do you think are the misconceptions that they might have about your business?
Many, because of my fault, actually, our fault. We do lack on communicating that better. One of the things is, for example, many customers do not realize we produce it in-house.
Mhm.
They think we're just another reseller. The customization as well is not very broadly communicated, I guess.
Okay.
And even less the vertical solution, that's a B2B. Several customers, we work with several brands and other companies that did find us and we referred to us by others that we work with. But I do not think none of them came from that realization that we do that in there. So people love our website, but maybe do not know that we do
Okay.
have that extra layer of customization or options. Yeah.
Well, the good thing about websites is they're living documents. So
Right.
you just need to update it.
Well, I see this with our brands, quality as well. So, right, my product, the CEPA adhesive, has several certifications. It's PVC free, printed with non-toxic inks. It's very, very thick, and anyway, so on and so forth. Several features that do set us apart. But many, even though I have videos and photos and I try to communicate as best as I can, many people don't know until they get it. I have several reviews and feedback. Oh my God.
Right.
I have tried 50 brands of peelers. This is far the best. This is amazing. But until they have it, they think, wow, why are you, 4 times more expensive than Home Depot or Walmart or whatever, And so I see that many, many brands go through the same thing. I keep hearing that.
Right.
I guess, I don't know if it's gap in communication or challenge that we have with the online business, right? In person,
Yeah.
it's a different deal, but
Yeah, you have to communicate well that you're a niche business and that you're serving a specific customer, right? That's
Right.
why I designed this question. What's the biggest misconception
right.
that people have looking at your business to help you kind
Right.
of understand that a little bit? So do you have a success story that you could share, either if you want to talk about customers or mission statements being realized within your business?
Stefan, I have many. To be honest with you, my biggest treasure, I think, as a CEO and business owner is our customers. I really love, we have amazing customers. I keep hearing sometimes business, complaining this, that. I cannot even tell you. I mean, they're great. They're fantastic. Our customers are fantastic. And from little inspirational stories that, again, from them to creating a costume design and having on their wall, and they're so proud of it, right?
Yeah.
Even though we do, sometimes they do the installations. I have a 70-year-old lady that she said to me, I can't believe I did this on my own. It's the entire wall. I'm from old school wallpaper. And that was perhaps, for instance, actually, was a self-adhesive.
Oh,
So she was so proud to have done the wall. I did it in only 2 hours and this and that. So that was excellent. So from those little stories, hearing the feedback from the people, like your customer service is top notch. You guys really care about the project, the customer. You understood exactly what I want. That's very rewarding. Interesting enough, I think on the private label that we have, we
hmm,
don't, from our surprise, it goes way beyond wall covering. Some customers did reach out for us because of the type of machines that we have, doing things that are similar to a wallpaper, but would be a screen for different projects. And so, which I cannot share because of non-disclosure agreements
yeah,
at this point, but very interesting that had a bigger cause, like from
hmm,
the hospital industry to other niches that we are
hmm,
so proud of being part of it, because it's a solution that will not just be for a home, it's
right.
multiplying for the community.
And that's
So
because you have a large format printing capability.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. The type of printing you have, and then you
yeah,
can use different materials and all of that. So, and having designers come to me, hey, I have this. Can you help me launch? I want to do my own wall covering line, and so how can? And they do not necessarily want to go with a brand like
mm,
Spoonflower again
yeah,
because they want a different type of model. And so that's very rewarding seeing, oh, you're growing and the sales are
yeah,
picking up, and so it's a partnership. It's a kind of a mutual
yeah,
fitting relationship that
yeah.
benefits.
And it's a bespoke offering from your side of the
Yeah.
business.
I have one more.
Good. Bring it on.
So our material, again, it's not the cheapest, right? So we try to give always focusing on the eco-friendly, trying to use the best, recycling, reuse it, and all of that as much as we can, right? We are
Sure.
we are surrounded by plastic. We need between everything that you can do, there's what you can do and what you can, and then you
Right.
try to make it work. And so I work with several nonprofits donating, materials that we no longer use or they're
Mm,
a little damaged in shipping, but can still be used for several purposes. For instance, for art, crafting, cutting, and
hmm,
collages,
yeah.
and things like that. So we have been working with an organization, the Boys and Girls Club, actually, of Sarasota. And recently, so they had a new space for the mental health areas. And then, and so the kids were painting a mural. And then we said, okay, how about if we identify those doors with wallpaper with the same similar design that the kids painted so they can, we can wallpaper all the doors. And so that was also really fun. It looks beautiful and amazing. So they can easily identify that door and it's kind of a, set on side. So things like that. They use the wallpapers for collage and drawing and making
Yeah.
fun things. So those are things that also,
You're
makes
proud
us,
of.
yeah, keep moving.
Nice.
Yeah, keep moving.
Nice. Nice. That's a great use of the paper
Yeah,
waste for
yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And keeping young artists' brains moving along.
Right? Yeah, exactly,
Nice.
exactly.
So what kind of trends are shaping the future for your industry, do you see?
Well, I think across the board, not just the wall covering industry or even the installation, technology is evolving so fast and everything is just changing fast.
Yes.
For instance, nowadays you see several different apps for, see how this is going to look in your room or in your house in 5 minutes by
Hmm.
clicking. And then so things like that makes us question a little bit, where the design is heading and how much will be the need for the design or the professional of the interior
Right.
designer and all of that. But I do think there is room for everybody in different ways and different projects, really. We do see a lot of technology with the machines, with the white format, the printing, the material itself is evolving from the 400 BC where we had the rice paper up to
Yeah.
what we are now with the type of materials and versatility and washability, removability, durability, and everything involved. So I do see a lot of changes on that area. Even with the wallpaper installation,
Mm.
it's just popping up. I don't know if you have seen machines that do print on the wall.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is, well, it's, coming up and not sure quality where it's heading. I just saw recently that a few months ago, actually. But again, I think there is different people, different projects and different materials and types for everybody. Still, you
Yeah.
cannot change the the visual texture. Tactile texture is two different things.
Yeah.
So,
I could see a museum project or something using a tool like
right.
that because it still requires people to move it around.
Right, right. And again, you're gonna have a printing on the wall. It's like the same as paint. You don't really have texture. So with the materials, when you asked about the trends, you go from maximalist to minimalist, and then I see clearly both ends.
Hmm.
So we see a lot of basic. We see like colors, just more of a playing with texture, not so much design. But I also see maximalist designs with, tigers and flowers and forests and very. So I guess, again, there is different publics, audiences, and projects that will take both.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty interesting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So you can keep moving on. So for our entrepreneur listeners here, what advice do you have for business owners that are looking to stay ahead of the curve today while they're building their own businesses? Or potholes to avoid? You've probably never found any of those.
Well, I think learning. It never ends, right? Again, because it's changing all the time. So we go to expos, conventions so much every year, all year long. That's one of the things. And I would say, think about not just, for example, I could say, just go for the wallpaper, right? For the material. But there is, in my niche, for instance, there's at least 3 or 4, which would be the equipment one, which would be the material one, trade shows and conventions, installation services, as well as the e-commerce platform, if you are on e-commerce sales marketing. So there's just so much. Maybe because we have this vertical solution from beginning to end, there's a lot involved, but still, I would go to those over and over. That's probably, this would be one of the main things. And then secondly, I would try to broaden a little bit of vision. Maybe, again, when we started 100% online, right? Only online. And we did, through several platforms. And then we start to incorporate the physical showroom and then the private labeling and the installation services. And so just think of what are your partners in the industries that you could incorporate either on your business or partner with to expand. Just again, really thinking outside of the box, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah.
So always be looking for a pivot. That's kind of that's the buzzword today.
Yeah.
That's the buzzword. That's great. That's great advice, Kelly. Thank you. So what's next for your company looking ahead?
I think we will just continue to expand, focusing a little bit more on a private label in various sense, I guess, installation services as well. And just keep your eyes open for the opportunities that might come and along the way that are not necessarily straightforward wallpaper for walls, like
all kinds of things.
Yep.
I saw a really cool application not too long ago. It was in a big hospital system where they had put up a multi-story parking garage and then put this big screen in front of it, but it was artwork.
Wow.
And it had holes in it so the air could get through. But when you look at it, when you're driving around the campus, you get different points of view from different angles.
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, working with art, we work with several photographers and artists, and it's amazing. I mean, the applications, the places where you can, but an unexpected place like that sometimes even makes it a bigger impact than when you are in a museum where you expect to find something like that. So I think it's just inspiring and beautiful the ways you can do with painted art, with photography or wallpapering. And again, not just ordinary places where you would expect. As far as wallpaper, for instance, we get customers that do RVs and doors and boats and you name it, furniture, moving the
needle for people.
For everybody. Like
for people.
Yeah. So
I can relate to that customer. I have a larger wall in one of my rooms that has nothing on it. It's a blank wall. And I'm always thinking, what am I going to do with that space?
Right. We can talk that after the call if you want. Stefan, we had a customer that he was talking to me, right? And I said, I'm not understanding exactly what to do. Would you like to come over in person? So he came because he was local. And then it didn't make sense to me. Of course, now I know when he was here, I was like, are you talking about a backdrop for a train? Yes, he was a train collector. So he had 2 big rooms for train to go in a hole in the wall. The train would go in a tunnel. And so he wanted the scenery for the back of the train.
Oh, nice.
It was so nice. And so one of them was Chicago, the factories, the farm, this and that. And so the one we did it for him was a snow cliff. So the tunnel would go, where the train would go in. It was almost like going within the rock. It was, and so that's amazing. I have a fun job. It's fun.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It goes way beyond walls. Beyond.
Well, that's great. Thanks for all of your conversation today. What's the best way for our listeners to get involved in what you're building or see what you're offering?
So I guess would be, you can, very simple, straightforward. As I said, we're a small family business, but a call away. But email would be probably one of the best, support@wallsbyme.com. That's wallsbyme.com. It's our website. And then, or you can also call us directly on the website. There is several information and I would.
Nice. So you like to talk to people?
I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Super awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes not all of them, but that's okay. It is what it is.
yeah, it's all good. All right. Well, thanks for that. So that's a wrap here. Another episode of Founder Freedom. A big thanks to Kelly Dall Antonia for sharing the journey behind Walls by Me. From online startup to full service design and installation powerhouse. You can check out her beautiful work and transformative wallpaper at wallsbyme.com or follow her on social for design inspiration and business smarts. Like what you heard here? Subscribe and share this episode and leave us a review to help other founders find their path to freedom. Until next time, keep creating, keep scaling, and never lose your style.